Week 8, UK lockdown. I think it's fair to say that week 8 has been a rather confusing week for everybody still in lockdown. Firstly, it was sunny, but it was freezing outside.
It's so sunny, but it's breathing. It looks sunny, but it's breathing. I am so confused.
On Sunday night, Britons who had been in lockdown for 7 weeks so far sat down in front of TVs everywhere to watch the PM address the nation.
Thank you very much.
All in the hope that Boris would give us hope that the lockdown would be easing. Unfortunately, the only thing that was clear was that Boris had brushed his hair.
Thank you very much.
Essentially, we were all told on Sunday night that we could return to work on Monday morning.
But I'm not prepared.
Boris said that from Wednesday onwards, we would be free to relax in parks and not be hassled any longer by police.
Oh, leave me alone, I'm just having a picnic.
Boris also announced that as of from the 1st of June, primary schools would be going back.
Has anyone consulted the teachers?
Here on Lockdown News, we try to bring you a clear picture of the events that have happened during the week. And so to help bring clarity on this past week's situation and the Prime Minister's speech,
We have a special guest.
that's right. As a big fan of the show, we've managed to get Mr. Johnson himself here in our studios to explain just what he meant by his speech on Sunday night.
It is now almost 2 months since the people of this country began to put up with restrictions on their freedom, your freedom.
And so today, I set out for you a plan of how we're going to escape from lockdown. A roadmap, if you like.
We're going to be driven by the science, the data, and public health.
Scientific monitoring.
So what we're saying is,
We want you to go to work. You must go back to work to get the economy going. Stay at home, but go to work. But if you can stay at home and work, then do so. So stay at home, but go out to work. But stay alert. We're calling you heroes to make you feel better about being in the front line of what can only be described as an invisible war. Stay home, stay alert, go to work, but stay at home if you can. Social distance, don't use public transport. I think it's all very, very clear.
Your left leg in, your left leg out. In, out, you shake it all about. You do the hokey cokey and you turn around. That's what it's all about.
so it was clearly clear that Boris wanted us to go back to work, although it was still quite clear, I think, that he also wanted us to stay at home and social distance.
I am so confused.
One thing that made perfect sense this week was the fact that Barack was back.
Come on, Barack, take him out. Come on, Barack, take him out. Come on, Barack, take him out.
Barack Obama was the keynote speaker for the class of 2020 graduates in the US. Although not explicitly slagging off a certain presidential successor,
You are fake news.
Barack used his speech to highlight his criticism of the handling of the American pandemic outbreak across the United States.
More than anything, this pandemic has finally torn back the curtain on the idea that so many of the folks in charge know what they're doing. A lot of them aren't even pretending to be in charge.
Bring back Barack! Bring back Barack!
Well, I hope we've managed to clear up some of the mysteries of Week 8 UK lockdown. Join me next week, if you can, for hopefully a less confusing Week 9 UK lockdown.